Welcome back to Swiss Watch Expo. This is Taking Time. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Richard.
This is episode 2. We're talking about the yellow gold anniversary GMT with the green dial and then the green dial
Daytona.
yellow gold Daytona.
Yeah. Stick around. We'll tell you about it.
All right, today we're talking about both yellow gold, green dial Rolexes, Daytona and the GMT, also known as the John Mayer, and then the underrated, hugely valuable GMT.
Right. So what do we know about these pieces? Why, they've become wildly successful and wildly popular lately in the past few years. Why do you think so?
Well, I mean, I think it's hugely based off of social media, really. I mean, that's what's really drawn people into the watch world to begin with.
Right.
You know, the likes of, I'll credit Hodinkee for this, but their interview with John Mayer, you know, this was a hugely sleeper watch.
Right.
And then people also started diving into the GMT. And yeah, thanks to Instagram and YouTube, I mean, this piece is really blown up in value.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit more about the GMT? What do you think? What do you know about it, this particular piece?
So this is the 50th anniversary. It came out in 2005, from 1955. Came out with a few new features. It featured the super case for the individual 40 millimeter case, the green dial for the Rolex colors, you know, i.e. matches the box, also known as the anniversary dial. It also featured the ceramic bezel and came out in 18 karat yellow gold, which looks pretty awesome.
Am I correct in believing, I believe that was the very first model where they actually brought out the Cerachrome bezel, is that correct?
Yeah, the ceramic bezel,
Okay.
yeah.
That's what, it's sort of like the pioneer when it came to the ceramic bezel.
Yeah.
Gorgeous pieces, gorgeous pieces.
Yeah, what about the Daytona?
Well, the Daytona is kind of cool, kind of like what Jonathan was talking about. When they first produced this in 2016, it wasn't the vastly popular watch that it is today. So Rolex kind of waited around for the world to change. And then John Mayer came along and boom, told us all again, reminded us one last time in case we didn't know.
I see what you did there.
Reminded us one last time, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And then all of a sudden this watch blew up overnight and everybody needed to have this piece. So when Mayer first found it, it was easily picked up off the shelf. He went to the authorized dealer and there it was, and then he talked about it, and then everybody else had to have it. So it became wild success overnight. You know who else has one now?
Who?
Jonah Hill.
Really?
Yeah, so yeah, depending on which celebrity you like the most, you could be influenced by him. You can find both these, by the way. You can find both these on the website real easily. Just type in 18K Daytona, 18K GMT. They're the only two we have. It's very unlikely. It's very unlikely situation that we have both of them simultaneously.
Full gold, not the two tones.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You're right. Yeah, you're right. So what the green dials in general. So the Daytona, this is one of the only pieces that I think I've seen that had the green dial that wasn't necessarily an anniversary dial. Is that correct?
Right.
So this one just came out. It was green just in general for the purposes of marketing it. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a change to the lineup, as far as I know.
Okay.
Which works.
Right. One of the things I like about the Daytona is they actually changed the movement in this. So whenever 2000 or so, they originally had a heavily modified El Primero movement. This one has the 4103.
The old Zenith movements.
Yeah, exactly. And then they did it all in-house, the 4130. We could beat down the doors of how revolutionary, about how great this movement is. Mitch has actually already done a video on this piece, so we're not going to go ahead. We're not going to keep beating down the door on you. So check out the video that Mitch has.
We also have an article posted on this too.
We do. Both written. The video is also done by Mitch. The article is written. Now you can trust these guys because they have a beard. You can trust a guy with a beard. Maybe not this guy, but you can definitely trust Mitch. So check out that video so you can find out a little bit more about it. So we know why they're so popular. Let me just ask you a couple questions. Which green out of both of them? They are slightly different. Which green dial do you like the most?
Personally, I like this one a lot better. It's a lot more muted. It's matte. It's not a sunray finish. And green right now is kind of really, really popular. If you look at the 2021 releases, it's huge. And it's just different. It's not quite the Rolex green. It's not what's out right now. it's its own thing. And I think it works for this watch because this watch is supposed to be a sports watch. And it's a muted, more matte color.
Right.
And
Kind
I
of
like
matches
that.
the bezel a little bit better. I think
Yeah,
if you're going to have the ceramic bezel, I think is maybe more cohesive to have the dial look very similar to it.
And a lot of people are doing sunray finishes right now. A lot of manufacturers are doing sunray finishes right now. And I don't know, this just speaks to me more.
Right. I do like this one. I do like the green on the Daytona. It has a little bit more of it, like you were saying. It kind of sparkles a little bit more, so it kind of lends itself to being a really dressy watch.
Well, you do like sparkly things.
I do like sparkly things. I do very much like sparkly things. And one of the things, like if you've had an opportunity to hold one of these pieces before, the stainless steel is dramatically different from this one because this is a solid gold piece. It's quite heavy, and you know why, right?
Because of gravity.
Gravity. It's a very heavy watch. It's substantial. Like, this is one of those things you put on the wrist, and you're wearing quality. You're wearing Rolex gold. I love that part about it. And the yellow and the green dial on this thing, I really think is a beautiful complement to each other. And this is going to be a silly question, but I got a really silly question. These are obviously watches that you buy and put on the shelf for display. You're not going to wear this watch on an everyday basis. But
I mean, Jonah Hill is, John Mayer does.
Right, that is true. That is true.
I mean, these are sports watches.
That is
Why
true.
not wear them?
Okay, so in that case, then I want to ask you, out of the two of them, which one would you think is the most utilitarian?
Well, again, I'm going to go with the GMT. The GMT has a lot of original functionality to it. It was designed for pilots, and this came out with the first trip lock crown, so it's guaranteed 100 meters of water resistance, and it's just, I'm a bare bones basic kind of guy,
right.
And so I need something that's straight to the point, versus the Daytona. I mean, it looks nice. It's just, and I enjoy racing. It's just, I don't have any use for a chronograph.
No, you're not going to use the tachymeter. You're not going to time yourself from mile marker to mile marker.
I drive a truck. I don't drive a sports car anymore. So
it's a Ford. They cut off at 110 anyway, right? Not as much fun. For me, I would actually go with the Daytona too, because if I'm out cutting my grass in a solid gold Daytona, I'd want to know how long it took me. I mean, just for fun. Honestly, I would use the chronograph more. I mean, if I'm out cooking on the grill or something like that, I got a family outing and I'm wearing my Daytona, I get to use the chronograph a little bit better because I know how long I want it to cook on each side of the steak, that sort of stuff. So for me, the utilitarian use is better suited for the chronograph than it would be the GMT because I don't travel much.
Yeah.
But I think if you are traveling, that's a perfect piece for you because it holds 3 different time zones. So if you got family in a different state,
or a different part of the world,
you got someone in Hong Kong, you can set it to 12 hours back and kind of know, keep track of that. Yeah. So I think I know which way you're going to go with this, but if you had to pick between the two of them, just in general, not just all those other questions, but just in general, which one would you go with?
The GMT.
The GMT. Well,
I'm sticking to
Spoiler
my guns.
I think I'd still go with the Daytona as well. I mean, it's just a really phenomenal piece. It wears really well on everybody's watch. I think the 40 millimeter case can not work so well on others people's, but for me, I think this is a beautiful piece. You can check these out again on the website. If you can. Just a pop quiz for anybody, if you can figure out how many references we use for John Mayer, because
there's been a few. It's more than one.
Let us know in the comments if you love these pieces. Which one do you like the most? Why do you like them the most? If you think one of these is just the best watch for you. Oh, one more question. Yeah. Which one of these is the because I can watch?
Daytona.
The Daytona.
Yeah,
I kind of agree. This is the. Because I could, so I did. This is that watch.
Yeah. But I mean, even if you could, why not wear it?
Right. I think I'd wear it every day, which is maybe sacrilege, but if I'm going to own it, I think
I'd wear it.
Well, anyway, you can check these out at SwissWatchExpo.com. Stick around next time. Catch us again at Taking Time, episode number 3.
Yeah, don't be afraid to give us a call about these pieces.
Absolutely.